Hello.
Hello, John.
Hey, how you doing, Zach?
Dude, man, you're fucking live right now on the Zach Moonshine show. How's it going, man?
Oh, cool. Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. Yeah, really good. A bit tired, but I'm all good.
Just getting out of bed?
No, I'm just sitting downstairs.
Dude, so we were just blasting some fucking Ungraven, man, and that shit is so fucking heavy, dude. What the fuck, man? How?
I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. Like, it's ridiculous. How the fuck can you make shit that's that fucking heavy, dude?
No, I don't know. It's just really stripped down. It's like Conan, but easier.
Easier than Conan.
Yeah, easier to write, because it's just me and the drum machine. It's
Okay, I
less
got you.
thought has to go into it. I really enjoy it. It's cool.
Man, it's really fucking good, dude. I've been enjoying it really a lot, man. So tell us what's going on right now in the world of Conan and Ungraven, and I know you have a record label as well. You have a fucking management company too, man. You're a fucking busy guy.
Yeah, I like to keep myself busy, but yeah, things are going good. We got Conan's. We're about to head out in with Black Label Society for like a whole month. That starts on the 23rd. Got a festival in Switzerland a couple of days before that starts, and then we've got a few festivals over the summer, and then another play Hellfest, and then go and play with a few shows on the East Coast, and then we're back over in Europe again. And Conan's busy enough in that respect, but Ungraven's got a handful of festivals coming up. Nothing, not too busy though before the end of the year. I'm just in the writing process still. Really, I've got another 6 songs which I'm working on, and that's gonna be like another EP come out maybe towards Christmas or just after Christmas, I think. And then we've also, like you mentioned, got a record label, Blackwell Records, got a handful of releases coming out soon. I'm working on the new Slamatics album that's going to be released in the summer. I got just had a new album come out today, and I've got lots of stuff going on at the moment.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, we kicked the show off tonight with Blind Monarch.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I love that shit, man. It's so fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And then
that just comes out today. That's just awesome album.
We got some Witchfinder too coming up a little bit later as well, man.
Oh, good. Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, that's cool bumping into these bands along the way, and asking if they can release something on the label, and I'm really happy I can help them out.
So I gotta ask you, how did you guys get with the tour with fucking Black Label Society? I think that's really cool, but I noticed that there was, whenever you posted that on social media, there was a lot of people that were sort of confused about it, which I don't really understand that. I think it works out perfectly. I think.
Oh yeah, cool. I think it's like sometimes, I guess their management wanted the support on that tour, and they probably asked us and a few others, and we got back quickest out of everybody, and the rest is history, so to speak. But I know that we're not we're not really the obvious choice to go and tour with Black Label Society, but I think it's cool that they want to tour with a band like us, and I think it'll only benefit the fans. The people who are coming to the show will get some variety there, and like variety in like you've got us who are like quite a stripped down kind of like sort of like alternative heavy music act, and you got Black Label who are also very heavy, but they're like maybe a more commercial sound, and I think the two combined definitely complement each other.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited to play it. It'll be cool. It's different to our normal type of show, because usually we'll go and we're at the stage now we can headline our own tour in America, which is awesome. So to be asked back to come and tour with the band as big as Black Labels, it's quite a big compliment.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping that I can make it out to the show that you guys are doing here in Tennessee, man. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, Clarksville.
Yeah, I've seen Black Label Society quite a few times. I'm a pretty big fan of them as well. And like as far as they're concerned, I know like some of their earlier records, Zakk Wylde was really. It seemed like he was really focused on making a really heavy guitar tone with the, it was like really fucking tuned down, and it was just very gutturally heavy, which sort of reminds me. Well, it's some of the same reasons why I got into Conan. It's just that fucking heavy fucking tone,
Yeah.
So I think
that's good.
Yeah, I think that'll work out cool, man.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be good to be like a cool challenge to see how we stand up alongside a band of that sort of size and bring it on. I'm really excited to play with them. The people who work with them seem really, really cool people, and it'd be nice to be in that environment. I think it'd be a good change for us.
Speaking of guitar tones, I got to ask you, man. You have, in my opinion, probably the heaviest fucking guitar tone that I think I've ever fucking heard, man. Like, seriously. How the fuck do you do that, man? Can you tell us, or is it top secret?
I don't know. It's like I've always just kind of... we've always tuned down to F, so that's quite a low tuning to start with, but I honestly don't know. I mean, I compare my guitar tone to David and Chris from Slamatics, or Jason from Black Cobra, or lots of other cool bands who tune down, and it stands up quite well against those guys. But I think it's just choosing the right equipment. We get cool guitars and cool amplification, but the sound you hear on the record is ultimately going to sound good because of the producer, Chris Field, and putting in the work in the studio, making it sound the way it does. It's the end result really is as much down to him as it is anything and any equipment that's used. But I'm pretty. I guess over the years I've been quite selective in what gear I use, and it's benefited the sound overall.
Yeah, I was thinking, it's probably a lot to do also with the production of it as well. I mean, I know when you're listening to the record, it's not just the guitar that you're hearing that's so heavy, it's also the basses in there, and then the drums too. The drums even sound like they're fucking detuned, man. Like, it's like everything is just,
Yeah. That's blame Chris for that.
Very, very fucking cool, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Chris done a great job on all that. He's recorded everything that we've ever done, so he's made us sound heavy, on each release, and I think he's outdone himself each time, which is can't be easy. He's had to think of ways to make it sound better each time, and I'm really happy with working in that environment. It's good. Yeah, he's a perfectionist.
The last Conan album really, really sounded great, man, and I really liked how you guys tried out some different things on the record too. Like, there's even a fast song on there, which was totally unexpected. It was like, whoa.
Yeah, Pain Incantation. Yeah, that's a really cool song to play live. That's in the set now, and love playing that song live. It goes down really well.
I know I saw you posted on social media that your son played guitar on one of the tracks on the album as well. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. The track Pain Incantation. I mean, it's basically one chord the whole way through, but very fast. So my son is actually quite a good guitar player, but I thought it'd be cool for him to play on that one song. Who would have thought it? The one song that he plays on is like 1,000,000 miles per hour. But he came down and recorded with us, and I think it sounds cool, and it's a good song for him to show off to his mates about. Hopefully he'll get years of pleasure out of doing that. It was really cool to get my son playing on the album.
Hell yeah, man. Yeah, it is. And when I was listening to it, I was laughing because it's so fast. I was like, was he like? Did he go in there and be like, Dad, let's jam a fucking fast tune, man?
No, it was more my idea. He was a bit nervous at first, to be honest, but when we got in there and sat down and started recording, he loved it, and he didn't. He only took him a take or two. He got into it. It was cool. It's the first time he's ever recorded guitar, so it was good that he got to play on that ridiculous track instead of one of the more obvious ones.
Very cool, man. It also reminds me of Max Cavalera, the way he has his son jam on the drums with him. And I know you recently got to share the stage with Max. Can you tell us about that?
Oh yeah, we actually got to play with Max Cavalera. Got up and did a song with us at a festival in England not so long ago, and the reason why that happened is that Chris couldn't make these couple of festivals, so we got a stand-in bass player, Dave Riley, who used to play bass in Fudge Tunnel, one of my favourite bands.
Mm-hmm.
He stands in for Chris now every now and again, and so Dave got up with us and played this festival on the Earache stage at a Boomtown Festival in England in August, and I got talking to Igor Cavalera, I think Max's one of his younger sons, and he's like, you know, a fan of Conan and Fudge Tunnel and whatnot. So I got chatting to him, and I said, "Do you think Zach would want to come and? Sorry, do you think Max would want to come and do a song with us?" And so Max Cavalera got up and did "Hate Song" with us. So that was really cool. And then unexpectedly at the end of the set, he said, "You come up and do a song with us next." So I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So I was a bit nervous and stuff. I initially said no. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it, but he asked me if I'd do "Wasting Away" by Nailbomb, which is one of my favourite tracks in that album. And
hell yeah.
Yeah, so I got up on stage and did "Wasting Away" by Nailbomb. I was absolutely loved it. And fortunately it was captured on video and everything, so I got to relive that whenever I want. It was so cool.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook. I was like, whoa, man, this is fucking cool.
Yeah, I hope to do it again at some point. We bumped into Max. I mean, Igor's band, Healing Magic, played with us in Houston. Phoenix, I beg your pardon, not so long ago. And Max was there. You know, he came along to the show to hang out with those guys, and we got chatting. And the band themselves are awesome, and we got talking about music and got some photos and hung out, and it was really cool. You know, he's a really, really down to earth guy, and he's he's an idol of mine and has been since I was a young man. You know, since I was probably 15, 16 maybe, and it's just getting to hang out with him and just like share a beer and talk about bands. And he knew a lot about Conan, and he was complimenting me on some of the music that we have in the album and everything. It was really cool, and we almost got a tour with Soulfly, but we couldn't quite make the dates work for us. So hopefully that's a relationship that'll continue to grow, you know, and we can hang out again at some point in the future. I'd really like that.
Yeah, that would be really cool, man. I would love to see that happen. Those early Sepultura records are fucking legendary, man. You know, like I remember I grew up to that shit too, man. Fucking that was some of my favorite shit, man.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it still is.
All the way up to Chaos AD is that's one of my favorite. That's my favorite. Everything up until that point for me is killer. I liked Roots, but it felt like a different direction to me, and that it's a great album. But for me, like I love Chaos AD and before it, and I need to re-listen to Roots and just to get a different viewpoint on that now that I've met the guy and hung out with him, and maybe I'll appreciate that album in a different way. But yeah, you can't beat those. You can't beat those. The Sepultura albums. They're just so fucking good. Max was telling me that they were going on tour as Cavalier and Conspiracy, and do Arise and Beneath the Remains. And
Yeah.
I would love to see that live. That must have been so good.
Oh hell yeah, man. Speaking of that, I have to ask you about like what are some of your influences? Like what got you into playing music when you were young?
Well, learning to play music, Nirvana, Slayer, Weezer, Anthrax. They were the bands that I was listening to most when I first started. When I first picked up the guitar. And funnily enough, the first instrument I wanted to learn was keyboard. I played keyboard for a while when I was like in my mid-teens. I was never very good at it, but I just gained an appreciation for putting tunes together and learning to play something. And that quickly moved on to a wish, a desire to play guitar. And I remember bugging my parents to see if they'd buy me a guitar, and they wouldn't initially. And eventually they got me like a Spanish classical acoustic, and they bought me the sheet music to Fistful of Metal by Anthrax. And I think back now and wonder how they ever thought I was going to be able to play the album on that guitar. And I remember going for the first guitar lesson, and the guy who taught me he tried to teach me the theme tune for MASH, and he was doing it finger picking, and obviously he was like a really good musician, and it was like, Christ, do I have to play like that? And I never really got into finger picking because of that, I think. And I remember, I think I just turned 18, and my granddad had saved up all his pennies for about 5 years, and I had like over 150 quid, and we all went to Manchester so I could go to the Arndale Centre and buy myself a leather jacket, because that was what you did when you turned 18. And
Yeah.
I remember the guy in the jacket shop and was talking to me about music, and he showed me what a barcode was, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then basically, once I learned how to play a barcode, I was away. Then I could play lots of Nirvana stuff and play lots of metal, lots of rock. Once I'd learned that basic chord structure, it was like lift off after that. I really started to play a lot more, and I used to enjoy a lot more after that, because I could play actual chords.
Hell yeah, man. I got some questions for you coming up from the chat room. Vicky Grandy wants to know, where would you like to play one day if you could play anywhere?
On the moon. That would be cool. In the space station on the dark side of the moon.
Dude, that would be fucking heavy, man.
Yeah, that'd be an easy load-in. But yeah, that would be good.
Another question from the chat. Larry wants to know about your gear. What kind of gear are you using as far as amps and guitars?
Okay, the guitars I'm using at the moment, I've used 3 different guitars made by a guy in Los Angeles, and the brand name is Dunable. And in America right now, I've got an all-white Dunable R2. And in the UK, I've got the same guitar, but all in black, and I've got a V as well. Amplifiers in America and England, I've got the same sort of setup, and it's a guy called Adam Holbrook from the band Serial Hawk. He's based in Seattle, and he makes guitar cabs and under the name Lahar. And he makes the cabs that I use, but the amplifiers that I use are by a company called Hildish, and they are like a recreation of the Sun PB10 preamp, which is basically the Sun Beta preamp. And I run that into a power amplifier, and then with that I can power several speakers. I can run a really big rig off that amplifier setup, and basically I use that same setup in the UK and in America. I've got some amplifiers and storage in America at the moment, which we'll be picking up when we head back over with Black Label.
Hell yeah. Another question from the chat. Thunderhead wants to know, what is the most epic moment you've ever experienced?
Epic moment. Okay, there's been a few things. Getting to share the stage with Max Cavalera was like a huge moment for me, because of he'd been an idol of mine, and that same tour we got to share. We got to share the stage with Dave Riley. Came to play bass with us, and he plays in Fudge Tunnel with their they're not active now, but they were like a really awesome underground heavy band from Nottingham in England, and their vocalist Alex Newport went on to form Nailbomb with Max Cavalera, and they're just a really important band for me as well. So that whole tour, really, or sorry, the run of shows that we did, like 2 festivals with Max joining us in England, that was a huge moment for me. I guess getting to play some of the festivals that we played in our early days, the first time we played Roadburn was a real eye-opener, because that until you played Roadburn, you weren't anyone really in our scene. For at least that's how I felt at the time, and to get that recognition was a really big boost for us. And then I guess another one would be when we got to share the stage with High on Fire for the first time, and we went on tour with them guys in 2014. That was another huge personal milestone for me, because they are and have been a band that I've admired since I really started getting into playing the sort of stuff that Conan plays. They're a huge influence on Conan's sound, and getting to hang out with them, and on familiar terms with them guys now. So if we ever bump into them, it's always very friendly, and it's cool to break down those barriers, so I don't feel like such a punisher whenever I see them. It's more like a friendship thing now than a fan and idol thing, and I really enjoyed that. It's got to that level, it's cool. But yeah, I've been very lucky along the years, and excited to see what happens this year.
Very cool, man. Another question from the chat. Vicky wants to know, have you guys ever played in Canada? And if not, are you planning to?
Yeah, we've played in Canada lots of times. Just a month ago we played in Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver. And this year we play, or sorry, next month I should say, we play in, I think, Toronto at least. I don't know if we play anywhere else. Definitely Toronto. And then in June, July we come back, and I'm pretty sure we hit Montreal, and I'm not sure about Toronto on that one. So yeah, we've been over the border several times, and it's always fun in Canada. We've played a lot of the main cities. I don't think we've missed any of the main cities at the moment. And yeah, we've always gone down really well. It's been cool.
Hell yeah. Now, as far as I also have to ask you about your management company, man. You're doing band management as well?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got a company called Black Skull Services.
What can you tell people about that?
Well, it's a management agency for bands, and slightly different to your normal management agency. We don't operate in the way that a lot of people assume a management agency operates. We don't just take over the running of all the band's business affairs, and we don't charge a percentage of the income. And we basically are set up so that we take a look at a band and take a view of what areas they need help with, and give them advice and work on those areas with them, rather than just doing everything for them. We're like we take like a consultative approach, rather than to make the best decisions, rather than just focusing on making the most money for them. I think a lot of the times bands focus on what will make them the most money, rather than what will make them a better band. And our approaches to try and help them think the opposite and have them think in a different way, like how trying to get them in into a position where they attract good opportunities and they make good decisions. And I mean, really, I'm just teaching them good habits. Really, we have like a when people join Black Skull, they enter like a they almost have like a range of benefits available to them, which perhaps they didn't use before they joined up. So we have like a press person who can put up press releases to the blogs. We have someone who specialises in social media. We have as someone who will design tour posters, and the cost of all of that is covered by the agency. And then we charge each band a small amount per month, so that they can gain access to those things. And I work with each band on a daily basis, and I'm contactable and available to help each band sort of make use of the facilities that are available to them. And we attract like endorsement opportunities with Orange Amplification or Black Harbour Strings, and we've been able to hook bands up with deals along those lines. But yeah, we're not really in the business of trying to help a band to earn as much money as possible. That's not really our aim. Our aim is to help bands become stable and make good decisions and stick around a while. And I think that's a key difference in what we do.
That is really cool, man.
Yeah, we just get a small amount off each band per month, so we're not really motivated by just making the band earn more money so that we earn more money. If a band gets really big, our income from them doesn't change at all. So it's kind of like a unique thing. I think, like, often we'll advise bands to say no to certain things, if it doesn't make certain sense to them, even though the fee might be high. If they're going to have to travel a long way, then we're saying, well, are you sure you want to do that? And we kind of join the band in a lot of ways, helping them make decisions from the inside out, rather than just trying to make the most money for us. I think that's something that always put me off when I was being courted by managing companies for Conan. It was that percentage deal which always put me off, because like, come home from tour and you've got to give someone 20% of your merch income, or you've got to give them 20% of the royalties for the album when they didn't help write the album, or it's never really sat right with me. So I've kind of made Black Skull into the sort of thing that I would have loved to have had in Conan. So far it's been quite successsul.
That is
we've helped bands come over from America and Canada into the UK and Europe. I'm booking tours now for bands over in Europe, from American bands and bands from Europe, and helping them book shows in England, and bands from England helping them book shows in Europe. And it's cool, and we're only just getting off the ground, really. We've got a long way to go before we can say that we've achieved anything, really. But this year alone, we've already helped several bands get festival slots, for example, that they would perhaps not have been able to get on their own quite so easily. And we're pretty proud of how things are going. It's my girlfriend Sarah and I who started the agency back in August last year, September, and it's grown and is still getting better. I'm really happy.
Hell yeah, man. And I also got to ask you, you also have your own beer, right?
Yeah, we got a couple of different beers which have been made for us. Not enough actually to keep getting sold out. So the latest one was won by a company over in Denmark called Dry and Bitter Brewing Company, and It's called Battle Hammer. We had Tony Roberts, our art guy, made the artwork for it, and it's a milk stout. So it's really heavy. It's a really delicious beer. I love drinking it, but I can't get it anymore now because it seems to have sold out everywhere. It's been really popular.
Hell yeah! Will that be available at the shows when you guys come to play, or?
No, it won't be, sadly. But I think that you can buy it online, and like specialist beer retailers. I'm sure they'll have it. So I'm sure it's available in America somewhere, but I wouldn't have a clue where off the top of my head.
So how do you manage to do all these different things? Like I can't even. I mean, wow, that's a lot of different stuff that you've got going on, man.
Oh yeah, I'm a father as well, so I've got to balance it all. Mainly just by having late nights and some early mornings, and I mean, here I am talking to you at 3 a.m. It's these are the sort of things that one has to do to make sure that these things keep ticking along. And I really have like boundless energy for all of this stuff. Yes, it can be a bit tiring and everything, but I consider myself so lucky that I don't have to go and work a day job. I don't have to work in an office and stuff. I used to do that for a living, and fortunately I don't have to anymore. But yeah, some days I'll focus on some things, and other days I'll have to shift my focus and prioritize between things. And I don't know, I guess I just like being busy. The devil makes work for idle hands, and that's always been a saying that applies to me. And the busier I keep myself, the happier I am. So long may that continue. I like to multitask.
I totally understand what you mean, man. I totally understand it. Yeah. A lot of people ask me a similar question about what I do, and I tell them, keeping busy keeps me out of trouble, basically.
Yeah, totally. It's I love it. I mean, I never want to work for anyone else as long as I have, for as long as I live. So hopefully I'll make it to retirement age without having to be called someone's employee ever again. That'll be my dream. And it's not like it's not an easy lifestyle. You have to make a lot of sacrifices, and it's damaged my personal relationships along the way in some areas, and you do kind of have to grin and bear it at certain points. It's not all rock and roll and mosh pits. There's some difficult times as well, but it's a lifestyle which is very it suits me down to the ground. I love going on tour, and like I've always said, I can now say that I'll leave a bit of myself behind when I die. It's been able to write some music and make some videos and do some interviews which will be around forever. If I want to look at memories of my grandfather right now, as I have, a few photographs here and there, but nowhere at all do I have a recording of his voice. I'd love to be able to go on YouTube and watch an interview of my grandfather talking about something that really excited him, and see him in his youth really full of energy and enthusiasm about something that he loves. And my grandkids will be able to do that. My kids are going to be able to do that. And if they get any pleasure from that, then that's awesome. I think that's a cool legacy to leave behind. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I'd have had to sit in some shitty office trying to look busy all the time and dealing with other people's hassles. And I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. And but I feel really fulfilled already.
Oh yeah, man. Well, John, I gotta ask you about the band name Conan. How did you guys come up with that? Is that based off of the fucking Barbarian?
Well, no, we don't write about him, and we don't take any of the we don't take any of the imagery directly from Conan the Barbarian movies, but obviously that name is one that conjures up a certain type of image in the mind, and that was not a coincidence. You know, when I first came up with the name Conan, it just kind of jumped into my head as being an obvious name for a band who wrote the sort of music that we write, and like, you know, like kind of punishing and loud and simple, and I just thought, well, that's perfect, you know. And basically that was that. It didn't take long to come up with a name. It just kind of happened one day, and all of a sudden I was searching YouTube to see if searching the internet to see if anyone else had that name, and no one did. So I just took it, and I think we got really lucky because there's so many heavy bands now, and it's really hard to pick out a good name anymore, I think. So I think I got lucky there to find like a one-word band name which is quite an iconic name and recognisable. It's really helped us.
It really is perfect, man. Like when I'm watching the movies, when I'm watching that one scene where he's pushing the fucking wheel forever and just growing and getting stronger and stronger and stronger, I can almost hear your fucking music playing in the background, even though it's not there. But it's it should be, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's almost like the music was written for the movies. But if they wanna make a Conan movie and pay us several $1,000s to put a song on there, I'd love that. I don't think that'd ever happen.
Did you see that they made a new video game for Conan, fucking Conan Exiles?
No, I've not played them yet, to be honest. I should try it one day, but yeah, I've not tried it yet. It's like the Conan stories and everything. The movies are cool. I really enjoyed the books more than I did anything else. So playing the games is something I've not really done.
What about the film Planet of Doom? Are you guys on that? I think I thought.
No, we were going to be. We were initially going to be, and then we couldn't make the dates work for us. So unfortunately, we had to pull out. But I've seen some clips and everything. That looks really cool. Some of the music that's on there is amazing.
Isn't Slomatics is on it, isn't it?
Yeah, Slomatics are on there, and I don't know who else actually off the top of my head, but Slomatics are one of the standout bands on there. I think maybe who else is on there? Woe Fat and a few other bands. I can't name them all, but yeah, Slomatics are on there, and it's perfect for them. You know, they are like one of my favourite heavy bands, and they've got a style all of their own, and I think they definitely made that movie a collector's item. You know, hopefully it does well for David and the guys.
Hell yeah. Well, John, I'm about out of questions for you, man. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Let the people know. No. Well, Conan's busy. You know, we've got a busy year, and we're going to start writing again soon. And we've got one more album left with the label that we're on, and then perhaps we'll sign again with them, or we might move on to another label. Depends how things go. I think some exciting new chapters for the band coming up. So thank you to everyone for the support as always, and I guess we'll see you at a show soon. Hell yeah, man. Well, before I let you go, I gotta get you to make us a station tag, alright?
Yeah, sure, yeah, no problem at all.
Alright, whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is John from Conan, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
Hello, this is John from Conan, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio.
Fuck yeah, man. Well, thanks a lot, John, for taking the time to talk to us. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to blast some more Ungraven and Conan for these motherfuckers so they can go crazy, alright?
Cool, thanks a lot, buddy.
Alright, man, cheers. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, cheers, Zach. Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.
Alright, bye.
Bye-bye.
There you have it, folks. Fucking John from fucking Conan on the fucking Zach Moonshine show live with Metal Devastation fucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your fucking neighbor's fucking driveway. If you don't fucking see U-Haul trucks tomorrow pulling up everywhere, You've got fucking serious problems, man. You really need to invest in a louder stereo system. Seriously, man, crank it the fuck up. This is Ungraven.